everyone, my name is Joe Gamble, and today we're going to do a quick run through the feature set of the Fryette Pittbull 100 CL. Not surprisingly, the 100 CL is a 100 watt head running EL34s, which means that it speaks with a lovely British accent, if you know what I mean. It has two independent channels. One's labeled red, the other one green. Red is the gainier of the two, but they can both go from clean to scream and are eminently musical every step of the way. Each channel is voiced differently, but they're laid out identically. Okay, so here's what we get. We get a gain control. We get a pre-effects loop channel volume control. We get treble, middle, bass. We also get a toggle switch that shifts us from normal into high gain mode. And we have these three buttons up here. The first one is boost, and that does what you expect it to do. Dumps more gain into our bloodstream, making us stronger and gainier guitar players. Edge, that does, Fryette says, is it enhances upper string harmonics and sustain. To me, it's just kind of like a badass switch. Everything sounds a little more badass when it's engaged, so I like to use that a lot. Shift is going to move the entire EQ shelving down and serve as a mid boost, so that's really handy. Moving right along over here, we have a 6-band global EQ that we can use for either channel. Both channels is actually assignable to either channel using the amp's foot switch. Over here we have the overall volume control for the entire amplifier. This is post-effects loop. So this is how you're going to control your volume after you're done tweaking and fiddling around with each channel over here. Finally, on the front panel, we have a handy tool located in the standby switch. Right now it's in neutral, but if I rock it up, it's going to run the amp in full power, whereas if I rock it down, we're going to be running the amp in half power. Alright, so coming around the back panel of the amp, we discover some other really useful features. I'm going to go over the highlights. Right here we have a power amp mute switch, so we can actually mute the power amp, continue to use the preamp all by its lonesome in any way that we see fit. Right here we have a power amp mode switch, which allows us to run all 4 power tubes in class AB, or we can engage what's called dual class mode, where we run the inner 2 tubes in class AB and the outer 2 tubes will be cathode biased, which is going to give us a smoother high and low end response and enhanced mid-range. Moving right along, we got your speaker jacks, we got your line output, your line level control, foot switch jack, the EQ that we saw on the front panel. This is the manual in and out button. Now we're going to look at this really versatile effects loop we got going on here. Here's the manual engage and disengage button. We also have the ability to determine whether or not we run the loop in parallel or series mode. If we're in parallel mode, this knob right here is going to act as a mix knob. If we run it in series, this will be a level knob. Okay? Finally, in the effects loop, we have a high and low level control. Very useful. And then finally, down here at the end, we have the amp's overall presence control and a depth / variable dampening control. So this amp is a really great combination of forward innovative thinking and old school sensibility. As you can see, there are tons of ways to kind of tweak the guitar sound through every step of its journey through this amp. But at the same time, it's incredibly simple to use and would work just great if you set it up with one sound and kind of ride your volume knob and use your pickups to get different sounds on a gig. Right now I'm going to try and do the amp a little bit of justice by layering some guitars and just kind of showing some of the varied sounds that you can get with this version of the Pittbull. I'm running the head into a Fryette Fat Bottom 412 cab. It's loaded with Fane F70Gs, I believe, and it's just mic'd with one SM57. And it's running directly into Logic, and any reverbs or delays that you hear will be from inside the box. So here we go.